On the day that celebrates the 6th year anniversary of the RLCS, what better way to start it than with a high-pressure match for Team Envy? Version 1 almost have an entire tournament in hand when it comes to World Championship points, but Envy with this roster move looking to make some gains on that. Johnny, as we get into this, what chance do you think they've got? Because, well, the fans don't seem to believe in it, and the devs don't believe in it either.
This is a tough one. Very, very hard to predict when you've got a new player coming in for a roster like Envy. We've got to see the matches before we can really make those accurate predictions. But what we have seen so far this tournament is a resurging Rogue side who have shown up when it matters most. They didn't look too great in the qualifier, but in the main event, they went to Game 5 with FaZe. They've made that run through the lower bracket already. But this could be their toughest challenge yet. I really think Envy have got more to show us than what they did yesterday.
What a great way to start the 6th anniversary as well, as we just try and get all of the players into the lobby. But whilst we did lose one thing over on Envy in the film of Turbo Pulsar, and that is obviously a loss that we're going to talk about a lot, I do also want to bring some attention over to the fact that they did bring Illusion in, because it felt almost unfair in a bit of a way that he had his best performance that we've ever seen from him and then dropped immediately after that. So I'm so happy to see Illusion get not only that second chance, but also get a chance to maybe head his way over to these major tournaments if Envy can get the results.
Yeah, one thing to remember with Illusion, though, is that fall major performance was a big step up for him. He wasn't at the same level online, and that's something that I'm concerned about for Envy. You've got one player coming in who had that huge LAN performance, but you've got to get to the LAN before you can have big LAN performances, and that's not something they were able to do last split.
We've also seen a lot of players kick on after one of those big LAN performances and start to transition it online. A big break for Illusion. We don't know if that's still going to be there. Must win as well. Version 1, they're big rivals for those top 5 spots. And potentially beyond, given how North America has done at recent major tournaments, you can definitely imagine a fair heap of them going towards the World Championships. Very much in their own hands. Jaro can't find the redirect. Lucian, not as far as he would like it to go. Miss now of all of the space to aim for, puts it right down the middle. Aqua's still downfield as well. Lower boost here on Rogue, but they're happy to just keep going, especially with those bumps. Shot will be wide. Let's make sure of it.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Rogue, the aggression in the final third. They're lingering upfield, waiting for those passes. They're looking for the demos as well. It's going to be Envy's time to look for the counterattacks, because if Rogue are leaving one man up front, that obviously leaves less in the midfield, less players recovering. So Envy have to look for those passes. They have to look for those countering plays. And Rogue have also been as threatening in the final third as to force Envy to really have to pay attention to the physical plays. It's going to be interesting to see how Envy deal with that. It's not infield threatened, but Alu shuts it down.
Oh, big opportunity, and Jaro took it away from Aqua. They'll be having words about that one after the game, but for now it's Illusion trying to chase down. Toroko's got enough boost. And that one was not how you get yourself into a series like this.
That was just a big throw from Envy. They're going to be the team to score. They've got the demo and the goal. But wow, they really left a huge opening at the other end of the field moments ago, and Rogue were just unable to capitalize. First real chance to the game for Envy, and they do take it. Massive play at the back post there from Mist. He was actually not the player making the pass there. It's usually the centering player who will carry on with the demo, but all 3 players from Envy getting involved in that attack.
We've seen it a lot more as we've gone through the last few years. The full send mentality of a lot of these teams. They realize you're not going to 1v3. You're probably not going to 2v3 either. You need to get everybody involved. As we do see 2 players committed to make sure that that one stays out. 2 is down here in game number 1. Find a best of 5, at least for the time being. Not too far off, though, from getting into those best of 7s. Breeze takes his time. Great play there, considering how low on boost he was, but he needed a little bit more from Illusion. And despite the goal, we are seeing Rogue being the better team when it comes to territory gained. Illusion, though, looking to try and create another opportunity. Aqua just leaves it for a little while. Great realization of the space he had.
Yeah, what player Aqua has been since he joined RLCS in the most recent split, the winter split. That's when he was first old enough, just like Daniel, to play at this level. And he has really shone. I think obviously outshone by Daniel, and had it not been for the existence of that Space Station player, I think Aqua would be a lot more talked about, because he's having a great time in RLCS, and he's having a great time in the field at the moment. Envy are not having too great a time dealing with him, as Toroko and Gyro combine for the opening goal. Miss on the backboard leads to it, and it's right back in the game now for Rogue.
Oh, I wanted to look at Drees. I was hoping I could maybe give him the excuse of low boost, but he had plenty.
No. Yeah, he did. He had plenty.
Complete whiff. And
he should be hitting that.
Well, Rogue don't need to worry too much anymore about that opening botched play that they've got. They now can just focus up on a game that they've been pretty dominant in so far. 2 minutes left.
Uh-oh.
And the game pretty much decided by misplays. Good double demo, and Gyro cleans up.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where Rogue should be leading, but they're not, as Gyro now lets another one through. It looked like he had it covered, but it goes right into the top corner. And in the same way that Drees messed up at the other end, Gyro has just not positioned and boosted correctly as he tries to go for the overhead clear.
Catastrophic. Absolutely catastrophic. A miss straight in. Gonna compound the misery here for Rogue. Both teams will feel equally bad should they come out of this game with the loss. One team will definitely feel like they've come away with stealing one here. It's Aqua now. Sets up infield. Who's there first? 2 orange cards. Not even a chance there for Rogue to take advantage, but another whiff means Taroko's got an opportunity. Gyro off the bump, follows up 2 each.
You know, we talk about Aqua, but it's Gyro and Taroko who are combining for the goals. They've both assisted each other's goals now, and that is goal of the game. But the setup from Taroko is absolutely perfect. Chips it into the middle, and then knocks the defender clean out of the air. That's not something Mist was expecting. He didn't realize he was going to be called upon to defend as fast as he was.
Well, Gyro avoids getting dunked on, and Aqua, once again, can't find his way past, but Gyro fakes out, gets the setup. Aqua now drops it back down. Taroko doesn't want to dive in just yet. Just over a minute left here. Goal can come from anything. Neither team will really feel all that comfortable, not only for the way this game has gone, but also just might have a whiff from a teammate at any moment. Need that mental fortitude, need that confidence, and Mist certainly had plenty of it. Got there nice and quick.
Yeah, Mist has been called in the past the best defender in NA, and he needs to use all of that skill right now to stop this extremely dangerous Rogue roster from putting a third goal past him. It's been mostly Rogue sitting in the Envy half, but in terms of creating realistic chances, both teams have been pretty even. Envy have been efficient with their opportunities.
Yeah, Mist, the player so good at playing defense, he changed rosters once just to play less of it. Talk about being good at something that, well, you don't really want to see much of anymore. Is Drees back into the midfield, nobody around. Defensive posturing coming out from Envy. Lucian, will he get some support this time? No, Drees hasn't got it. Mist off the backboard. We know he scores these more often than not. But well played by Rogue just to make sure there wasn't the chance.
Oh, it's actually stayed up. It looked like we're going to go to overtime.
Oh my goodness.
Not quite yet. Big 0-second play here. And it's Envy who were the aggressor for the majority of it. But here we go. Overtime game 1. Must win for Envy to get their confidence back up to the levels it's been to earlier in the season.
Off the backboard as well. Drees tried to respect the chance of a shot. Missed off the challenge. Does well. Who's got boost on his team? Nobody around. Can really interfere with the play. Aqua now one-on-one against Lucian. Lucian comes out of that very well. 0 boost yet again. Envy really struggling just to find any sort of boost when they get down to the other side of the field. It's all being used up just to defend. Breeze called off by Lucian. Not the best touch, but he does have Mist over in support. Gets it back over to Lucian. Looks for the backboard. Realizes it's open. Who's there first? It's Taroko, and it's a great clear by Taroko at that. Mist has to cover the 2v1.
Yeah, big defensive plays coming out of Taroko a couple times now. He's bought Rogue not just some time, but... Oh, here's Aqua. The other end double tap goes through. The defender couldn't get goal side. Aqua finishes off what his teammates started. 1 goal apiece for all 3 Rogue players. And it was Drees who just couldn't get in the way of that final touch on the ball. Rogue with a deserved win in game 1, but not an easy win, as they really made it hard for themselves in this game.
Yeah, I think both teams will be looking to settle down a little bit here. Get some comms going between them all and just start to realize, okay, our opponents, they've made some mistakes. We can take advantage of this, and this will be going for both sides. Lucian coming out, though, with 2 goals, so he's at least doing well here. It is the newcomer that has put his team into good spots. Now the rest of them just need to try and follow up. But we'll take a look at some of these highlights. Best goal, absolutely. But also, I have to say here, Johnny, the standards of best goal weren't all that high.
Yeah, definitely some messy defending on both sides. We saw miscommunication coming out of Rogue. We saw some mechanical misplays coming out of Envy. In fact, a bit of both on either side, as the second goal for Envy was also, a mechanical misplay out of Gyro. Although it was a tricky one, very well placed shot to that top corner. Envy are going to need to step it up, though. We're on to Aquadome. It's Aqua's home map, and he's undefeated on it, of course, trying to keep the streak going. Looking at the first game there, I wouldn't be surprised if we do keep that undefeated streak going. Rogue look like the better team. They look like the aggressor in this matchup. And I feel like it's a lot easier to fix those miscommunications than it is to fix the mechanical misplays that Envy have had in this matchup.
Rogue are coming into this 400 RLCS points behind Envy. Definitely would not guess that from what we've seen so far. Big winners of this as well would be a team like Version 1, who are waiting. They're up next. Also looking to try and play for their tournament lives. More mistakes. They can't afford this right now, Team Envy. They're back under pressure. But even if it doesn't automatically result in a goal, it's the fact that this has been so easy for Rogue to find that transition to the other side of the field. Need to do better of it. Dries powers the ball down to the other side. And again, just handed straight back over to Rogue.
Yeah, Envy have got to simplify here. They're trying to be very precise with their touches at times. And when you're not playing at your absolute best, that can be a big risk to take. And you want to just, I think, keep things as simple as possible. Just go for route one, get some big hits on the ball, start to boom it, and see if you can even out the matchup in that way. So at the moment, Rogue look very comfortable.
It's definitely been a pace that Rogue enjoy. So good at getting that first touch and then following. This time around, though, Aqua a bit too heavy from him. Double commit needed to beat Dries. They've done exactly that. But Soroko's still quite far forward here. He's not going to be in the most comfortable position to play the ball. Chef almost getting bumped. At least some breathing room here. Gyro takes his time, takes too much of it. Dries straight back over. A quickening of the pace here by Team Envy. What can they get for it, though? Just Gyro takes back control. Two players down that side of the field. Aqua needs to play this one well. Doing exactly that. Well played by Aqua. Did not fall under any of the pressure, but still made it a bit too easy on the follow-up touch.
Yeah, more key defensive touches from Taroko. That one buys his team a little bit of time, but they've got to get goal side of the ball. That's exactly what Aqua does. Now Gyro's just flipped right past it, though, and Dries was thought it in the bottom corner.
That is such a good play by Mist. Just made sure to put some pressure on. Got the jump out the player a little bit earlier than he wanted. And there we go, 1-0. And a much needed Envy 1-0 at that.
Once again, though, it comes off a Rogue misplay. You know, Rogue have been their own worst enemies here. And that's really why I think Envy just has to play simple Rocket League. When the opponents are making mistakes, don't try to be fancy. Just hit the ball on net. You never know what's going to go in. And that's what Ali's going to do here. An easy air dribble into the net. Didn't even need to get additional touches. Just lets it drop right through as Taroko, for once, making a defensive mistake.
Yeah, you can already see Erlu, whilst we had him on the camera, just setting himself up, expecting to have to do a little bit more, and realized, oh, okay, I've done enough here. Let's use the ball, drop into the back of the net. Breeze over to the corner. That's a little bit, is that what you were alluding to, by the way, Johnny? Just put the ball somewhere that the opponents aren't and just make them uncomfortable as you step back up.
Yeah, you've got to just try and force those mistakes in modern Rocket League. And, you know, full credit to Envy. They have been utilizing the physical plays a bit more supplement to their game than Rogue, who have really gone for it in that final third. You have to do that these days. We've even seen NRG acknowledging the fact that they are trying to implement that into their own game. They realize it's just so effective right now. The game is at a pace that any kind of contact is going to do some damage. As a Dries goal goes into the near post, how on earth are these goals sneaking past so many defenders?
I'll have a look one more time, because I'm just as confused as you are, and Gyro's in a good... Oh, okay, Gyro.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no. Well, Gyro's done a very simple thing here called go too far forwards. Anyone that's played the game knows exactly what that strategy looks like, and also knows that that one doesn't tend to work.
Yeah, it looks like he was expecting a touch out of his teammate, but you've got to be positioned for the fact that the touch might not happen.
Just wait a split second.
Yeah, you don't have to go a lot further back. Just a smidgen further back is going to give you all the time you need to react to any ball coming towards you there. A Gyro stepping forward and making a big mistake, putting Rogue in an even more devastating position. You know, looking back actually at that first goal, looks like he was bumped, so he's off the hook for that one, but that was definitely a misplay for the third goal.
Or looks to try and get the follow-up block. Not going to be anyone else there around though. Jara on his way back. So Lucian is having a brilliant time right now with these air dribble plays. Getting the space for it, and that's 4-0. Anybody that wasn't a fan of the Aqua and Aquadome jokes, well, you're going to be the real winners here because I don't think they're going to last much longer.
Yeah, it's gone. There's just no way that they're coming back from 4 down. There's just no way.
It's in a shambles right now.
The home field advantage not proven to be very effective here. Rogue being punished a lot more in this game. I think Envy have realized that Rogue do not look comfortable. I'm definitely expecting Rogue to improve as the game goes on here, but they've got to do it quickly because we've seen in the past that when they do make those mistakes, you know, Gyro's a very emotional player, can really get down on himself and make himself sometimes play worse in my opinion, but given that they were in control for so much of game 1, I think they're still going to feel pretty good in this matchup. They've just got to put it right on the field. They've just got to make their plays, not really worry too much about what Envy are doing.
As for Envy, much improved.
Definitely.
Basic Rocket League, once again, we know how good their fundamentals are. Any person I've really seen pushing the envelope a little bit is just Lucian, and even then he's not really doing all too much for it. He's just air dribbling out of defense. Something that he does very well when you give him that much space. Rogue need to shut this down. That's not even like a mechanical thing. They're just not there to stop him.
Yeah, they've got a big step up in the second game, Envy. The mechanics are really on point all of a sudden. It just looks like they've gained their confidence as they don't waste any time. No hesitation jumping for fast aerials. Really a dominant display. Yes, a few mistakes from Rogue, but you take all those mistakes out of the picture and it's still an easy win for Envy in the second game.
Absolutely was. And as we tick down, a clean sheet for Envy over in game number 2. I wanted to see what it would look like once the whole team started to show up. That is exactly what it looks like. And Envy have evened up the series. 1 each here. As for Rogue, I think this all sets up with the third man defense. For me, Johnny, just that player is so far forward at the moment that if the ball is even slightly in the air, they can't get to it because they're just in such a rough spot to try and turn around and get to it.
Yeah, we even saw it from Taroko in this game. He's usually that guy who knows how to position in defense to perfection every time he's called upon to defend. It's why so many players in the past have enjoyed playing with him, is because he really just backs up his teammates very well. But when you've got Taroko stepping a bit too far forward, letting an easy air dribble go over the top of him, that's a worrying sign for Rogue. We saw Gyro doing the same thing. Too far off the goal line, and a simple shot to the near post goes right over his head. So it's very much for Rogue about just keeping that third man in as reserved a position as they can. Make sure that they at least make life difficult for Envy, because Envy have stepped up here. They're not going to get any more free wins.
Absolutely not. So we do get ourselves into game number 3. Rogue looking to at least put some good pressure on to start. That's a fantastic place to get there, but who's that player? It's always the same one. Missed. Scrambles across just in time. We stay at 0-0 despite a very good start there for Rogue. Maybe not so much there from Drees as he puts his team under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, they looked great as a team as well. You know, we've got to remember, this is still a new team. Illusion, brand new in the Envy roster for this split. But that performance in the second game is much more like the unit that we want them to be and the unit that we expect them to be. These are players who have proven themselves mechanically. They've proven themselves on different rosters. Drees on G2 previously, and Illusion on FaZe. Mist, of course, on this Envy roster. Now you put them all together, 3 players who have had success individually. Not always a guarantee that they're going to have success as a team, but at the moment, looking pretty good. Remember, this Rogue roster gave NRG a ton of problems yesterday. Envy have put in already 1 game past them.
As good as that result was against NRG, and it absolutely was, you would consider it a little bit disappointing to go ahead 3-0 NRG and then go out this early in the tournament. You expect to have that sort of accolade next to your name for a very big win in a very big tournament, which covers you a lot of points. Let's go ahead and grab themselves the goal here and the series from right there on after. As that's great positioning from Illusion, gets the second block, can now try and follow up. A couple of wall dashes. Wow. Closer in, and Illusion unchallenged for the longest time. No boost, no worries.
Yeah, phenomenal play from Illusion. And like you said, no boost, but he's able to get the ball all the way from one end of the field to the other and passed, I think, 3 players in doing so. Really just buying his team a ton of time, getting the ball out of a dangerous position, even putting a bit of pressure on Rogue while doing so. It's all about being goal side, all about managing the 50-50s correctly.
Now missed turn. Is he going to get the reset? No, just won't quite fall for him. Evolution daring Gyro to move in. Almost set him up as well for the demo. Stalemate so far as we head towards the halfway point here in game number 3. Aqua, good up for him. Goes to the backboard. And just doesn't drop down for him. I'm not entirely sure Gyro quite got the air roll in time, so his touch sort of bounced off the ball.
Yeah, he didn't get the first touch that he was looking for in the air dribble. Had to use so much boost just to get back to the ball. And now the first touch goes very distant from him. Not quite able to get right on top of it. I love when Illusion's work in defense of this game. Just calm, composed, controlling the ball. No panic, even if the ball's right next to his goal. He just puts his car between the goal and wherever the ball is. Forces 50-50s. Here he is again, just going right past Sirocco like he's not even there. Sirocco having to dive back in demo. Really good chase there from Sirocco, making life easier for his third man.
Well, we wanted to know whether or not Illusion was going to be able to continue his run of form after more or less taking a split out. Absolutely. This has been the Illusion that we got used to seeing, that we wanted to continue seeing. And it's the Illusion that we have got. As now he looks towards his teammates. Missed off the corner. Sets up. Illusion doesn't get the drop down passed over to Miss.
Illusion definitely
left here. Oh, this might be an opportunity actually for them. Aqua can't find the infield. Still good defensive play. Gyro almost finds the set and instead missed over to the corner.
Yeah, Rogue getting back into that pocket they were in the first game. They're keeping Envy pinned back. Look at Illusion's 50-50s. This guy just putting himself behind the ball and driving through everybody. It's only the physical play on the recoveries that's forced him to relinquish possession. Really proven to be a menace that Rogue haven't found an answer for yet. Gonna see a more aggressive version of Illusion, it seems, on this Envy roster. Pairing him up with Dries and Mist, who are a lot more willing to take that defensive duty than his former teammates.
Aqua back over to the corner. Back and forth here in game number 3. Rogue definitely steadying the ship just a little bit after a pretty tragic game 2. Midfield, Dries doesn't run onto it. Instead, puts the ball up high. Tests Sirocco. With 0 boost, does still get to it. Now it's Aqua's turn. First touch. Tries to set himself up. Wants to get over the top of Illusion, who had more eyes on Gyro than he did necessarily have the ball. And we now start to trek back to the other side of the field. Dries has options. Chooses himself. A pretty good option at that. Has got Illusion on the midfield as well. We tried to scramble there just in time. Miss. Sets himself up. Pops the ball over the top of one. Sirocco once again. Last person back. Gets there just in time as we trickle the last few seconds away. Huge overtime coming up. As Rogue don't find the floor. They might regret that, actually. Dries infield and nobody around.
Yeah, well kept up initially, but it's that final touch for Envy that's been lacking in the end of this game. They're just not getting enough power on their shots. They're not getting enough power on their passes. Illusion, flip reset, fake, and the goal! Huge play by Envy's new player. And only 7 seconds into OT, he puts them 1 game ahead.
Whoever made the decision to bring Illusion up is fist pumping right now, because what a decision it's proving to be here in this game. Illusion stepping up massively, and it almost kind of blows my question away here, Johnny, because I'm going to say, because we've seen so much here from Illusion, these transition plays, he is walking it from his side of the field into the other one. This is what I want to put to you. Does it seem to you at all like Envy just almost don't expect it? Because we see Miss, we see Dries, they're struggling to get involved after those plays. And then, you know, we need to see whether or not they can figure out how to become the second man there and give that support. But if Illusion can play like that, does he even really need it?
No, he doesn't. I mean, Illusion just took over that lobby, full control. Every time that he needed to buy his teammates time to recover, buy his teammates time to get boost, he's just getting behind the ball and refusing to relinquish possession. He's just driving around with the ball glued to the front end of his car. And then he's the one to make the big solo play in overtime. Just by far the best player on the pitch there. The new player on the pitch as well for Envy. He's everything that they've wanted so far in this matchup.
Yep, and he is extremely calm under pressure, and it's a big pressure situation that we see Envy in. They're a team that want to keep chasing up for those top spots. Not really need to be going out this early in the tournament, especially with so many of their near championship rivals swimming around upper bracket, lower bracket, or make gains if they go out in this situation.
Uh-oh.
That's a little bit of game one rearing its ugly head back around.
Oh dear, it's Aquadome all over again. Taroko too far forward, underestimating the hard hit from Mist, and that one went even further over his head with no contact. This is just, I think, a confirmation of the strategy that I really think Envy should be using. Just boom the ball every once in a while. They're catching Rogue out so often when they go for these hard hits. Speaking of, Dries is off his line now, but he reads the post fights exceptionally well. Oh my goodness, Shogun. They've got to just keep the third man further back, though. This shouldn't even be a threat.
No, it shouldn't, especially when things have been so comfortable and you're just kind of waiting to see what Rogue can do, because it is now all on Rogue. You don't need to be taking any sort of risks. Mist a little bit more comfortable this time with the clear. Wants to get over to Dries. That's Gyro, but Lucian. Lucian's been the one making those plays. He knows how to defend them as well. He's not going to let it get started. Immediately cuts the play out at the source. Dries, that first touch from Dries just been a little bit lacking. It's not something that has come back to bite them. He has been a little bit all over the place. That's another one there. Tried to get ahead of the block. Now double commit. Dries, last one back. He's up against Aqua. Let's get to the opposite side of the ball, and Dries, good play this time around, does get in front of it and just gets his team back in time.
And he didn't have much boost to play with there. Had to pre-flip into the challenge, and he completely nailed it. Actually, Lucian is the one who's caught slightly far forward. Not last man, though.
Oh,
but,
no.
Oh,
what
it looks
is
like
that?
It will result in a goal for Envy. Big dunk from Taroko, followed up by the center ball, and there was nobody back to cover Gyro's shot. So many times in this series, we are just seeing third men, even just players getting caught slightly out of position for no reason. They don't need to be moving up on what's obviously going to be a hard clear. But both teams continue to make that mistake every once in a while.
Give credit to Taroko, though. Kept being in the right place 3 or 4 times in a row. Just landed on it, recovered, and made sure that he got the pass set up. Another double commit. Lucian, only the one tasked with trying to get rid of it. Good play, though, from Mist. 3 minutes left here. Drops down dangerously. Lucian gets enough on it. Aqua realizes he's got a bit of space, but not as much as he was really anticipating. Now Taroko off the backboard. The players are there. There's been no problem with getting a good touch. It's just having the players there that has been the problem for both these squads.
Yeah, passing hasn't really been a big part of this series. And, you know, I'm not really sure if offensive passing is a good thing to look for against teams who are sitting so defensively as we're seeing here. But definitely defensive passing would be nice to see, complementing the good 50-50 game, the good dribble game, especially that Envy have got. Just change the direction of the play, move it left to right, get everybody on the other team driving in the wrong direction briefly. Now, Lucian showing time and time again, he's quite happy to draw Rogue in. He wants them to move forward, create space behind them. He waits in the back corner there. They're not feeling too threatened, even if Rogue are in the final third.
Oh, there was an option as well on the far right-hand side. Wasn't taken, and Rogue might be very thankful for that. Missed to Lucian, and Aqua covers the correct side of the ball. Did not try and play to try and get there first. Instead, made sure that the ball just ricocheted into his car. He's not a powerful clear, needs some help. Just about gets it, and Taroko almost settled the ball back down for another teammate. Gyro over to Aqua, once again, well played by Mist. 0 boost. And as it seems to be for Team Envy, 0 boost seems to be when they do their best work.
Yeah, that was a very awkward position for Mist, but he dealt well with it. Aqua actually just driving off the play here, didn't want to go for that bump ahead of his teammate. Now Dries 1v1 to Taroko, and he makes the 1v1 stick. Dries putting his team in front, and Taroko can't really be blamed too much for this one. Aqua and Gyro absolutely gone, completely isolating him, and as soon as Taroko tried to slow down, hide behind the ball, maybe sneak a challenge in, that's the moment Dries decided to flick it. Perfect timing by Envy's player who's still trying to prove himself to this team.
You said perfect timing. I mean, we saw a slight turn inwards, and it was just exemplifies how good that timing was, because the moment the finger even hovered over the handbrake, the flick was already going over the defender's head. Now it's a minute left for Rogue to save their tournament lives. Got to get past what has been a much more resolute defense from Envy ever since game number 1. Spotted their problems and fixed them, and might very well be heading on to the next round. Lucian takes his time, sees the boost go away. Taroko, good bump, might stop Aqua, and he's done it.
Whoa!
2 each.
Huge play out of Aqua. Rogue in desperate need of a big play, and he is the one to make it once again. Just beats the defender to the ball by a mile. And Envy could not survive the pressure as we got to the end of the game. It's the timing of the physical plays with that shot on target that's been so valuable for Rogue, both in game 1 and now in game 4.
Now Rogue need to find 1 extra to send us in to our Champions Field tiebreaker game. Aqua once again from the corner. And where's he got them back into this? Freeze invites the challenge, wins the challenge, has got a Lucian up in support. Good flick over the top of 1, and unfortunately for him, missed, unable to react just about in time as we do get to overtime. Big goal here, might even decide it.
Envy will really feel like they should be the ones taking this. They've got all the momentum, 2 straight wins, had the lead until late in the game. Gyro is looking for the mind game here. They have to get the mind game past 2. That's a great pass. Drees to miss. Gyro's done low boost. In fact, 0 boost as he deflects the ball into the corner. All it takes is that little pass in defense to suddenly have a goal-scoring opportunity.
Drops down, missed, looks to set himself up. Almost got wiped out by Gyro, who was looking more for his card than he was the ball. Drees is on that far side, so maybe a good decision there from Aqua just to leave it alone as Gyro dances his way out. He's getting past everybody. And that's probably the only way you're going to stop him, is just to try and swipe away at that car. Now missed off the backboard. We know he hits these every single time. He was in position for it. If there is ever a move that's been scouted, it's missed off that backboard.
Gyro with a big dunk there. Drees didn't see him coming. Now Drees completely out of boost, but calmly puts the ball underneath the last man who was coming in for Rogue to take the game.
And Drees had to fight everything, just a hopeful jump, because that would have taken him out as well. Drees now. Again, that first touch just keeps taking it a bit too far away from him. The ideas are definitely there. Lucian back over to where Aqua resides. Oh, Taroko needs to get there, doesn't quite do so. Gyro gonna try and find his own way out as almost Aqua gets taken out of the play entirely. Both these teams much more physical in this overtime.
Yeah, Drees is very close to giving Envy that game-winning opportunity, and now he's got one himself. Leaves it for miss. Top corner finish, and that is game over for Rogue. They're out of the tournament. Envy with 3 straight game wins, advance to the next round.
What a call by Miss. Get Drees off it. You're the one that's got the opportunity, and Envy will move on. All pressure now on the other teams to try and keep up with those points.